The metallic clang of trays echoed through the narrow corridors as Alex Monroe stepped into the prison kitchen for the first time, his heart hammering in his chest. The pungent smell of grease, sweat, and fear clung to the air, thick and suffocating. Every glance from the inmates was a sharp, unspoken warning. This was their domain, and he was an intruder. He was supposed to blend in, stay invisible, survive. But in this violent world, invisibility was a luxury few could afford. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Alex had volunteered for the undercover assignment to expose corruption, smuggling, violence inside the prison kitchen, a place where tempers boiled faster than the giant vats of soup. The first few hours were a delicate dance, chopping vegetables while keeping his hands steady, smiling when forced, nodding, pretending familiarity with the rules that weren't written anywhere but burned into the inmate's memory. Every sound, the hiss of the fryer, the scrape of a knife. The murmur of inmates' voices could signal an opportunity or a threat. By midday, the tension had begun to mount. He felt eyes on his back constantly. Conversations would drop when he entered a room, laughter dying abruptly, replaced by whispered speculation. It was clear someone was testing him, measuring him, and plotting. It happened near the industrial freezer. A hulking inmate, known for his temper and reputation, moved behind Alex. One hand rested on the edge of the freezer door, while the other slowly inched toward a sharpened piece of metal concealed in his apron. Alex's breath caught. The cold blast from the freezer door seemed to chill more than his skin. It froze time itself. The inmates around them barely reacted. Some stared silently, some smirked, enjoying the suspense. The air itself vibrated with menace. Alex could feel the pulse of the kitchen, a living, breathing entity of violence and chaos. Every instinct screamed at him to act, but he had only seconds to decide. He remembered the training, patience, deception, composure. One misstep, one flicker of fear, and he would be discovered. He shifted subtly, letting his body language remain casual, as if checking a stack of trays. His eyes never left the attacker. Then the freezer door swung open, and he was slammed against the wall. The cold hit him like a physical blow, making it harder to breathe. The inmate loomed over him, eyes wild, muscles coiled like a predator ready to strike. Alex's mind raced. Escape seemed impossible, negotiation too dangerous. Every second stretched into eternity. And then, unexpectedly, another inmate intervened. He was smaller, overlooked, but his presence shifted the energy. With a few sharp words and a glare, he diffused the immediate threat, forcing the attacker back, if only for a moment. Alex's pulse slowed fractionally, but the danger hadn't vanished. It had only taken a new shape, lurking, waiting. Sweat ran down Alex's forehead despite the freezer's chill. Every movement felt like a chess match. Every glance was a probe testing his nerves. The moral tension weighed heavily. Could he maintain his cover while protecting himself? Could he prevent a deadly confrontation without losing the trust of those he was meant to observe? Hours later, after near misses and whispered threats, Alex found a moment to breathe. Alone in the storage area, he ran his hands over the cold metal shelves, feeling the bite of the freezer lingering on his skin. He realized how fragile his situation had been, how thin the line between survival and disaster. He had stared into the heart of violence and walked away, not because he was stronger, but because he had been careful, deliberate, and calm under pressure. By nightfall, the undercover mission had uncovered the key evidence he needed: a trail of smuggled goods, abuse of power, and inmate hierarchies ripe for reform. He had survived, not unscathed, but with knowledge and insight few would ever gain. The prison kitchen, once a chamber of fear, had become a proving ground for patience, courage, and human ingenuity. Alex realized the true lesson of the day. Danger often comes in the most mundane places, behind the rhythm of routine and the scent of cooking food. Courage isn't always heroic or loud. Sometimes it's measured, quiet, and sustained by careful thought under extreme pressure. As he finally stepped out of the kitchen, the fluorescent lights flickering above, Alex felt the cold air of the night wash over him. The adrenaline ebbed, leaving a mixture of relief, reflection, and respect for those who navigated this world daily, often without recognition. He understood something fundamental about human nature. Fear is universal, but so is resilience. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. And in the silence of the empty prison yard, Alex realized that the horrors he witnessed had been tempered by courage, strategy, and unexpected intervention. Life in the kitchen could have been fatal, but it had also been a mirror, reflecting the strength and vulnerabilities of everyone inside those walls. He walked away, carrying the story, the evidence, and the unforgettable lesson that survival often depends as much on patience and awareness as on strength. Thank you for listening. If this story gripped you, share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more cinematic, real-life, suspenseful storytelling. And remember, your voice matters.